Globalization is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon that has profoundly impacted the world's economies, societies, and cultures. It refers to the increasing interconnectedness of countries, economies, cultures, and societies across the globe, driven by advancement in communication, transportation, and technology. While globalization has brought numerous benefits, it has also come with its share of challenges and drawbacks. Globalization has brought about a range of positive outcomes, particularly in terms of economic growth, technological advancement, and cultural exchange. First, the economic growth and trade expansion. It is one of the most significant advantages of globalization is its role in driving economic growth. By removing trade barriers, globalization facilitates the free flow of goods, services, and capital across borders, leading to increased competition and efficiency. This fosters specialization, allowing countries to focus on producing goods and services where they have a comparative advantages, resulting in greater overall output and economic prosperity. Second, access to new markets. Globalization opens up new markets for businesses, enabling them to expand their reach, tap into global demand, and increase revenue. This is particularly beneficial for small and medium-sized enterprises that may lack the resources to penetrate the foreign markets independently. Third, spread of knowledge and technology. Globalization facilitates the rapid dissemination of knowledge and technological advancements across borders. This exchange of ideas and innovations drives innovations, leading to improved products, services, and processes. Developing countries in particular benefit from access to advanced technologies and expertise. Next, cultural exchange and understanding. Globalization fosters cultural exchange and understanding by bringing people from different backgrounds into contact. This exposure to diverse cultures can lead to greater tolerance, empathy, and appreciation for different ways of life. And lastly, enhance global cooperation. Globalization encourages international cooperation on issues of mutual concerns. And lastly, it enhances global cooperation. Globalization encourages international cooperation on issues of mutual concern, such as climate change, pandemics, and global security. By fostering interdependence globalization, it creates incentives for countries to work together to address shared challenges.
While globalization has brought about numerous benefits, it has also been criticized for its negative consequences, particularly in terms of economic inequality, cultural homogenization, and environmental degradation. First, the economic disparities and inequality. One of the most significant criticisms of globalization is that it exacerbates economic disparities between countries and within countries. While globalization has lifted millions out of poverty, it has also contributed to a widening gap between the rich and the poor. This is partly due to the fact that multinational corporations often exploit low-wage labor and lacks environmental regulation in developing countries, leading to a race to the bottom in terms of labor standards and environmental protection. Second, cultural homogenization and loss of diversity. Globalization has been accused of promoting cultural homogenization, where local cultures are eroded by the dominance of Western or globalized culture, products, and values. This can lead to the loss of unique cultural traditions, languages, and identities. Third, environmental degradation. Globalization has contributed to environmental degradation through increased consumption, pollution, and resource depletion. The globalized production and exportation of goods have led to a significant increase in greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, and the depletion of natural sources.
Next, job losses and displacement. Globalization has led to job losses in developed countries as companies relocate their operations to countries with lower labor costs. This can result in unemployment, wage stagnation, and social unrest. Next, exploitation of labor. Globalization has been linked to the exploitation of labor in developing countries, where workers are often subjected to poor working conditions, low wages, and a lack of labor rights. This exploitation is often driven by the desire of multinational corporations to minimize production costs. And lastly, the erosion of national sovereignty. Globalization can lead to the erosion of national sovereignty as countries become more integrated into the global economy. This can limit the ability of governments to regulate their economies and protect their citizens from the negative consequences of globalization.
Additionally, globalization has profoundly impacted policing worldwide, creating both opportunities and challenges for law enforcement agencies. This complex phenomenon has altered the nature of crime, the methods of policing, and the very concept of what constitutes a police force in the modern world. However, globalization, while fostering interconnectedness and economic growth, presents significant challenges for policing. First, the jurisdictional context. The blurring of national boundaries due to globalization has created a complex landscape for a law enforcement. Transnational criminal organizations operate across borders, making it difficult to determine which jurisdiction has primary responsibility for investigating and prosecuting crimes. This can lead to jurisdictional conflicts where multiple countries claim authority over the same case, resulting in delays, inefficiencies, and a lack of accountability. Resource allocation. Globalization often leads to disparity in resources between countries, making it difficult to allocate resources effectively to combat transnational crime. Developed nations may have more resources to dedicate to combating sophisticated criminal networks, while developing countries may struggle to keep pace with evolving threats. This disparity can create a situation where criminals exploit weaker law enforcement capabilities in developing countries. Cultural differences. Cultural differences pose significant challenges to policing in globalized world. Different cultures have varying perception of justice, law enforcement, and acceptable behavior. These differences can create misunderstanding and complicate investigation, especially when dealing with cross-cultural interaction.
Complexities of international cooperation. Effective international cooperation is crucial to combat transnational crime, but it faces numerous obstacles. Different legal systems, language barriers, and varying priorities can impede communication and coordination between law enforcement agencies. Building trust and establishing effective mechanisms for information sharing and joint investigations are essential but challenging. Globalization presents significant challenges to policing, requiring a multi-faceted approach to address jurisdiction conflicts, resource disparities, cultural differences, and the complexities of international cooperation. Effective solutions necessitate increased collaboration between nations, harmonization of legal frameworks, and the development of innovative strategies to combat transnational crime. Furthermore, investigating in training and education for law enforcement officers to enhance their cultural sensitivity and understanding of global criminal networks is crucial for effective policing in a globalized world.
Technological innovations are playing a crucial role in combating cybercrime, offering new ways to detect, prevent, and respond to threats, such as biometric authentication. Multi-factor authentication. Biometric authentication, such as fingerprint scanning, visual recognition, and iris scanning can be used as a second or third factor of authentication, making it harder for criminals to gain unauthorized access to systems. Identity verification. Biometric authentication can be used to verify the identity of users, reducing the risk of identity theft and fraud. Since it is very rampant criminality that jeopardize the national security, this innovation can strengthen the cybersecurity across worldwide. To improve a stronghold of security of one country, there should be a policy specifically in combating cybercrime, such as the policy of technological training and education for law enforcers. This could eradicate and mitigate the ignorance of using technologies that become a common weak spot of the law enforcers that has led to being the target of cyber criminals.
In conclusion, globalization has affected the policing system of many countries positively and negatively that help and fill the gaps of their policing systems in combating transnational crimes effectively.